Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Xaereth Prevails, a Grand Arena story. I've got an interesting one for you guys today. It's a throwback to the days of yore when we didn't have Galactic Legends. I'm also going to be doing a new format. I don't know how much you guys will notice, but I'm going to be using OBS. I'm going to be using like some hotkeys. I am not usually accustomed to it, so what we're going to do is just going to be a straight playthrough, and it's going to be different. I might mess up, and I'm probably just going to keep it, honestly. So I am going to start some music here as well. I think this should be a lot better than the previous music sound levels in the past. Let me know what you guys think, though. Always happy to change things as well. Okay, so this is just an interesting match. My opponent and I decided not to use our Galactic Legends. He messaged me and was like, "Hey, I already made Kyber, and I know you're a YouTuber. Do you just want to like try a sandbox mode kind of thing?" And I was like, "Well, that's not too interesting to me, to the people watching probably. Like, I don't want to test things. I can test things in Arena if I need to. I mean, I like to test things, but you know, I want an actual match. So maybe what we could do is we just don't use Galactic Legends. We just leave them on the side so they're available for offense, technically, but we don't actually use them." And so he actually agreed to that. And you know, there's always that danger of treason of someone just like not following through, but I thought it was pretty likely that he would. And so he did. You'll see that neither of us actually like cheated or whatever. At least not that I'm aware of. We'll see in the GAC history, but I'm fairly confident that he was an honorable fellow. So before we jump into the match here, guys, I do want to throw a huge shout out to my patrons. You guys are amazing. I am just so overwhelmed lately, guys. All the support you guys have been showing me and my channel, it is so cool. I just can't even get over it. How amazing. So thank you guys so much. Truly appreciate it. Now let's get to the video itself. Okay, so I'm facing a person named Tano, dude, I believe, who's a loyal friend apparently. And yeah, the username checks out. Look at Ahsoka as the thumbnail and loyal friend. Though I will say, so Ahsoka's a loyal friend, but she wasn't that loyal to the Jedi Order. So there is that. You know, they were loyal in our match. So my opponent had, let's see, he had an ultimate Jedi Master Luke and a non-ultimate Rey. So we basically just evened out in terms of that, in terms of those rankings or whatever, in terms of those investments. And so they definitely, I don't know, that we were even. So let's continue on. We placed our defenses. He attacked my bottom zone before I got to go, and then he hung out during the stream and watched me attack, made comments and everything. It was kind of fun. And yeah, so here are my defenses, guys. I put General Skywalker up front, which I think was a mistake. And then I also had Jedi Training Rey up front. And I'm not pausing fast enough here, guys, apparently. In the back, I had whatever you guys saw there. I forget now. Nothing too fancy. I think Darth Revan and something else. Unfortunately, all of my fastest speed mods were actually on Supreme Leader Kylo, so I couldn't actually, like, my Darth Revan was pretty slow. It wasn't a great state of affairs, to be honest. But we can deal with it. Let's move on. So up top we put Padme and Geos and a Hux team because I don't need him with Kylo. And frankly, I'd spent a while figuring out what I wanted to take, but I didn't. It was during my lunch break, and I didn't have much time. And honestly, my opponent kind of out-schemed me a little bit. So you guys will see in just a minute here what my opponent used. My hotkey skills are just not the best, frankly, guys. Okay, so he put Mothma, a Mothma team went and his Cara Dune was super fast, almost 300 speed, which is pretty quick for that squad. You can have a faster Cara for sure, but the squad is actually in the land of no galactic legends. That squad is pretty scary. And also put his Jedi training Rey team up front. So that was pretty cool. Good for them. Good idea on their end. And one thing I will point out too while we're looking at the scores, I have a bot that tells me when my opponents attack and what they scored. Not for each squad, but like it just sends me a report of, okay, since the last 5 minutes I checked, your opponent's GP level has increased, or not GP, but lifetime banners have increased by this much. So I know they got a 60 and a 53, and so my assumption was that they had used like Jedi Revan on my General Grievous squad on the bottom zone, and then they used a General Skywalker on my, Commander Luke on my General Skywalker squad. That was my assumption. Let me adjust this video just a little bit. I'm not used to having the webcam on while I'm doing these recaps. Okay. So they have Mothma. They have the Jedi training Rey, and then they have Padme and General Grievous and Kylo Ren unmasked. And this lineup really confounded me. I placed so many things on defense, I wasn't sure what to do. Like, I just didn't have much time to process it or anything. We were about to do our Friday night live stream, so I got to go first, and it was just a very tricky thing of what should I actually take here. I still don't know. It took a while to figure it out. So what I ended up doing, I went for Night Sisters against this Rey team. It can go south real quick here. As you'll see, like if Finn does his grenade at the wrong time and kills multiple Night Sisters, or if they just target Doc off the board right off the bat, it can go south real quick. And so we're just we got to target Finn first. He's a little scary. A lot of people will target BB-8 first, and I can understand that desire, because BB-8 is really strong. You know, he's giving turn meter to everyone. He's giving Illuminated Destiny tokens or whatever they're called, but you need to kill Finn first. If you can kill Finn first, this team's power diminishes dramatically. And so I did. His Finn is pretty quick too, so I was happy to be able to take him out. You can see old Daka is stunned and worthless currently. I saved my Asajj Dispel because I could see that R2 was going to go soon, and he would probably put smoke up, which he did. So you can see my ability to dispel was undiminished with Asajj, which is helpful. Tried to stun BB-8, and of course he resisted it. That Relic 7 ball. So now I'm just looking for targets of opportunity, frankly. Rey is actually very stunnable. If you can stun her right now, not that I tried to do it there, but if I could stun her, she can't dispel that stun. And frankly, I mean, she has Plague on her now, so she can't dispel it anyways. As you can see, she did a crit, but still didn't dispel because Plague doesn't allow you to dispel debuffs. Once we took out Poe, I was pretty sure I was just going to win. I mean, it's never for sure. This team hits real hard, but there's no, especially with Finn. The thing about Finn, this whole squad is very susceptible to Night Sisters. The thing is, though, it's not the best when it comes to Plague. The one mitigating factor is if Finn is on the squad and he has his grenade of healing, he gets rid of that Plague, and then it's just over. BB-8 is a great Plague distributor, actually. It's wonderful to see. So, using Night Sisters here, guys, this kind of looked easy, but it just isn't. It's really a tricky counter. It's really scary. So, you know, 54, 55, whatever is what you expect here. That's what I got. I was happy. Pretty cheap counter, but it has its risks. This was not a 100% counter by any stretch of the imagination. Now, I eventually was talked into using my Imperial Troopers with Piet. Piet makes this squad so ridiculous, guys. I'll pause for just a second just to explain. As long as you're faster than anyone, and my Stark is fast enough that he's faster than Kara, like, you have to be careful, because Kara has a bunch of good synergy and abilities against Empire. And so, my squad here, I have, what, gear 10 on Piet, gear 12 on Veers and Range Trooper, and then I also have, I have Relic 4 on Snow Trooper, because he does some good damage, and Stark, and what we want to do, we just need to target the guy with the lowest health and protection, and which is Cassian, and if we can gun him down, we'll gain a bunch of turn meter. Piet puts the mark onto Stark. Wasn't trying to rhyme there, but, you know, did it anyways. So Snow Trooper is using a basic attack here. We don't want to give them turn meter by doing that AoE. Now we killed Cassian, we have a bunch of turn meter, and notice the stacks. We have like 14 stacks of the special buff from Piet, and that means we're doing 14 times 6% of offense, whatever that is, in addition for every hit. So you'll see it really start going nuts here. That AoE didn't really do as much as I was hoping for, obviously, but now we can try taking out Pow. We're just using basics one more time because we're running out of characters with turn meter. Need to get another kill. Those kills replenish our turn meter. We're up to 20, so we're up to like 100 plus 120% offense on every hit, and even our gear 12 guys are just doing obnoxious amounts of hits. They never got a turn. We got 60 banners, and I ended up clearing that front zone extremely efficiently. So happy about that, and huge props to the people playing with me during our Gambit fight night. One of the guys, Fruit Ninja Mike, kind of walked me through it a little bit. It was pretty cool, because I don't use Piet with that squad too often. All right, so there's this Newt squad with Nest and a Relic Droidica. And L3. L3 with relics is really scary, of course, but First Order with Watt is really good, and I think this was maybe kind of a mistake on my end to use Watt. I mean, Watt is pretty good with this squad, there's no denying that, but you gotta pay extortion there, by the way. There's no denying that, but I think that my problem was I didn't have a good plan going in, and my squads were just unmapped, and Watt, as you'll see, would probably have been extremely helpful later down the line, so kind of regret having done that, but I just don't even know what I'm supposed to do. So here we have the here we have the weapons tech on First Order Executioner, the tank tech on Kylo Ren Unmasked, and you can see Droidica almost just killed Kylo. Luckily, he's a little lower relic than my own Droidica, which you guys will get to see him in action in a little bit too. And he didn't quite kill my Kylo. Came really damn close though. So I'm here trying to figure out, okay, who do we want to take out? We got to pay extortion when we get it. We got to kill Droidica as soon as there's an opportunity for it. I hadn't checked the speeds initially, and I kind of paid the price there because they got a lot of their abilities off before I kind of had the opportunity to react. So that was a mistake on my end, certainly. And now I'm just trying to... We killed Newt twice, or we guess we killed him once. First Order Executioner as the weapons tech though, and therefore just gets a double kill right away. And then Executioner tried to go on a killing spree. Dooku decided he'd get one last word in. I decided to try for an extra banner here on Watt. I actually should have done it on Kylo. The guys with me were saying I should try Watt because he can heal himself. I still disagree with it, but I was like, okay, fine. I'll yield to peer pressure because that's what we do, right? As humans, we yield to peer pressure. So he does the healing thing, and then it occurred to me, like, I mean, didn't occur to me. I knew this. I wasn't going to get another turn with Kylo. If I had given it to Kylo, he would have healed 30%, probably given me more protection banners. That would have been good. Anyways, got through that squad. We have Geos as well. Everyone's placing Geos against me because I've been struggling lately, as you guys know, against Geos. It's never pretty. And my struggles actually, I looked at the speeds. I was like, okay, if I take Aura Sing here, against these bounty hunters, Aura Sing lead, all we have to do is use, use 10 abilities while we have a buff. So everyone has a buff because they're all stealthed, and as long as it doesn't have to be during their turn, so we can call a couple big assists from Greef and Bosk, and then Mando is going to get a turn to just go in and execute someone. And you look at Mando's look at his turn meter. It's pretty high. It's higher than most of these Geos. It's not quite higher than them. All he has to do, I'm gonna call 2 assists eventually. All Mando has to do is crit on one of them, and he will gain 30% turn meter and be able to go. So that's all we got to do. And let's see if it pans out. So he's got 70% crit chance is what he's got. So I would say that's pretty good. All right, so Bosk sends a big mass assist. We're 70%. All we got to do, we'll call the big assist from Greef. Mando didn't get the 30% turn meter, as you can see. He didn't crit. So once again, he didn't crit. and now Mando, who's not faster than the Geos, is okay. So that was a mistake. I wish I could rewind here. Let me pause though. So Bosk taunted there. Huge mistake, actually. I had one more chance. If I had done a big mass assist with Bosk, Mando would have had an opportunity to grow that turn meter from another crit. As you can see, he missed 2 crits in a row there at 70% crit chance. Killing me, man. Seriously. I'm still so mad about this because it should have worked. It should have worked. I mean, it obviously, it doesn't have to. Should have worked, though. So, Bosk, though, missed an opportunity. That's just a lack of experience playing this particular comp. And then, immediately, they just killed Mando, as you will. And, man, so annoyed, because he didn't have a good back zone. I knew that my opponent was going to just one-shot me now, because he kept all of his good squads for offense. And, yeah, this is basically it. So, just decided, I was debating, like, okay, can I maybe potentially kill one of these Geos? Like, what can I do? And so I had to forfeit. That's just bad. So I failed, gave my opponent an extra 20 banners, and really, I mean, so one other thing I should point out, guys, my opponent has 480k lifetime, so really close to my own. Tons and tons and tons of success in Grand Arena. This isn't a player you want to mess up against. It just isn't. And clearly I did. Unfortunate that I did, but I mean, you just got to move forward. So anyways, we're up top here. We have three squads that I kind of hadn't planned well against. I'm using Traya here. Probably could have used a different squad, honestly. I do really like to use Traya against Padme when I have the opportunity. I did manage to get the isolate off on Padme, and so now we're just going to try to coast into a win here. Normally it's nice to be able to fracture Jedi Knight Anakin if we can. The timing and speeds and turn meter and all that didn't necessarily pan out that well. Sorry, I had to pause, so the music might be a little disjointed here. But anyways, the isolate on Padme, man, it makes that team so easy to kill because she isn't giving. She doesn't have her unique applying all of those extra stacks of protection to everyone every time anyone does anything. So we can actually do damage to people. It's pretty fancy. And if we can keep Fracture on General Kenobi, then that's even better because we can actually hit Anakin. Unfortunately, Fracture wore off, as you can see, and pretty soon Kenobi is going to be able to go. So let's try to figure out who to target here. We just want to get an Annihilate on Anakin as quick as we can. That's the goal. We don't want Kenobi to be taunting in that case, so we're just going to shoot Kenobi. And here, I used Force Drain, which obviously it puts the taunt onto Kenobi. Pretty dumb. And what we want to do here, Thrawn wants to give turn meter to the person with the highest level of turn meter possible. So he gives it to Scion because Thrawn swaps turn meter, so he's going to get another turn really soon. We want to fracture General Kenobi one more time so that we have an open path to be able to killing Anakin. And so as we can see, we've got the Nihilus Annihilate. And it only took like 2 minutes, though. It's actually toward the end of this fight, because once you kill Anakin, and if Padme is still isolated, if they have no way to kill Traya, which they're not close even, then this battle's over. It's all a matter of trying to maximize banners at this point, and of trying not to time out, which it does start getting a little bit dicey here. So just want to kill Kenobi now, or Padme, whichever comes first. I mean, Kenobi's gonna just be a huge pain in the neck this whole time anyways. I gave turn meter to Nihilus here just because I knew he was gonna have another Annihilate up. Killed Kenobi, still took a minute though, so now, and remember, every time you do a Force Drain with Nihilus, or every time you kill a character, his Force Drain is actually going to kind of mess with you, just because he only has 3 targets to Force Drain, so he's reducing his cooldown by fewer amounts every time you kill the squad. Like, can you imagine if you had like a 7v7 format and Nihilus was super fast or something? Like, you could get Annihilate off like almost instantly. And you know, but in like 3v3, for instance, Nihilus is still fine there. He's still good, but he's not transcendent. You know, his ability is diminished every time you reduce the number of people doing it. So decided to annihilate Varys there next, because Padme is just really not doing much. But we only have 1.5 minutes left, and Padme is really tough to get through. These guys are both relicked. I was really hoping I was going to be able to just kill Snips without having to annihilate. And so I did use the Held for Hatred thing, did my big hit, and then I had to pray that Padme would not be able to hit Scion again and take down that extra piece of protection. And so Thrawn can hand the turn meter to Nihilus, and now we fracture, and it's looking pretty good, at least. Hopefully it doesn't crash on us or something at the end after all this work. But man, it just takes a while for Nihilus, or for Traya and Nihilus really, to be able to chew through this team. Nihilus got 4 Annihilates on this squad. 58 banners though is pretty dang good in my opinion. Don't get to use that squad too often, because Traya's often with my Vader team that kills that kills Rey. So now guys, here, let me pause it real quick. The situation here, I have Vader left, I have Jedi. I could have split my Jedi into 2 different groups. He does have Grievous with Watt, which is a pretty tricky squad to deal with. You can't use a lot of the normal counters that you have available. And so I have Vader with Palpatine. I have this squad, the Jedi, whatever, the Jedi, and I could split off Luke. I also need to kill Geos in the back. I need a decent banner count. I don't have many teams left, and what occurred to me is the team of First Order, like after all of this, the team with First Order is actually really tricky because it has Hux on it as well, which means I can't gain bonus turn meter, and Hux is really fast and would go before any of my guys. I also have Commander Luke, so it was like, what do I take here? I don't have any squads that are gonna be perfect. And what I had kind of been planning actually was to use a Vader squad. Vader can beat this team pretty credibly. It takes a little bit of finagling, but you can absolutely make it happen. But then I got excited and I just jumped into this fight. I don't know, like, I'll say this. This was such a mind F experience, honestly. Like, trying to figure out and plan around these teams that I'm just not used to planning around, it was very difficult. And my opponent absolutely did a great job of it. Yeah, much to my chagrin. So let's continue. But this was not my optimal choice. It does work. You can see I'm taking Jedi Revan instead of Bastila. You always want to take Jedi Revan against Watt. That's the one time with, if it's GG Watt, you want to take Jedi Revan just because of the extra offense. All the other comps, I like to use Bastila, but the one cool thing is I do have Luke available as well, and Luke makes everything so much better. Honestly, look at how he stunned everyone. It's just pretty cool. So we killed Watt pretty quick. Now we have to go through this this very carefully, because B2 is just going to keep pounding us, taking our protection away. Well, protection. They'll take our buffs away, which is more scary. Like, he just keeps getting turn meter and stuff. I decided eventually, like, maybe I should just kill Magna Guard here, because the second Magna Guard takes another turn, he'll get a bunch of protection, and before we know it, like, B1 will have healed him, and we'll have to just re-kill him all the way. So, just decided to kill Magna Guard. As I said, though, Jedi Luke just makes things so much nicer. Finally, they triggered Savior. It took a while, actually, just getting a lot of turns. And this squad happens to be one of my better modded squads because I use it to kill Galactic Legends. Go figure. So, kill B2 finally. Usually B2 is the first one you want to kill, and he was the second one we killed. They've killed a couple of our Jedi now, even though they're relicked and good. They even killed Yoda. But Jolie is overpowered in this situation and revived everyone. We don't have Supreme Leader Kylo, who just kills everyone without revives, which is wonderful. And yeah, so just got to spread these buffs. At this point, I mean, you have to revive the whole team, and it's magic. It's really cool, but it also means you're probably not going to find a way to get max banners either. So I targeted Bastila. She was the closest to being able to get enough assists to regrow her protection all the way, because Grievous, we're almost done here. We're almost finished with this fight, and so we need to maximize our banners. I've already dropped one banner. It's like, or one battle. If I drop more banners as well, if I'm inefficient against a really strong player, then I'm probably just going to be sunk. And every banner matters. Like, you guys saw my fleet win in my last episode. I won by 2. Like, if I had been really sloppy on any of those fights, I would have just lost. So, maximizing banners is important. Got 57 here. I guess we can live with that. But now we're in a situation where I have Commander Luke and Vader to kill the Geos and the Kylo Ren team. So, the thing is, Commander Luke will kill either one, kind of. Commander Luke will kill all of the periphery characters pretty easy. I even had 3PO here actually available. But here's the thing. every debuff you cause on Kylo, and every debuff you cause, and every time you hit him, he regrows 8% of his max health, and so every time he loses health, he heals 8% of his max health. So you can heal him by hitting him. In addition to that, with his leadership, every time you do a debuff or cause a negative status effect, which means like if you reduce his turn meter, then he regrows 5% of his health and 5% of his protection. And so the Commander Luke team, I have all these guys at Relic. This is a high Relic team. I have Commander Luke at 4, Han and Chewie are at 7 each, and then Chupio's at 5, Droideka's at 6, and what the idea was, and this wasn't my idea, this was actually Fruit Ninja Mike also suggested this. He saw my Droideka, who does, he's really slow, but has Relic 6, lots of offense, and so the idea is we can't bring 3PO here because we're reducing too much turn meter and causing too many status effects. Like, we would never ever kill his Relic 7, really well modded Kylo. It just wouldn't happen. So what we're doing here, Droideka is hopefully going to be able to do enough damage to get us over the hump. So this was a good piece of theory craft. Let's see if it pans out. One thing I will point out too before I unpause it, guys. You can see that Hux has advantage and he has his Zeta. So what's going to happen is we need to kill Hux as quick as we can, because we can't gain bonus turn meter, and this whole team relies on bonus turn meter in a big way. So if we don't kill Hux quick, they're gonna kill all of our really squishy guys that don't have tanks, that don't have a tank to protect them. So a lot of things going on here. There's the pre-taunt, there's another taunter with First Order Stormtrooper. It's just a big mess. So if we can kill Hux, note that Luke did his shift stance and then couldn't gain turn meter because his bonus turn meter and Hux had an advantage. So you can see Chewie is very close to dead. Chupio is stunned and close to dead. It's a huge mess. So I decided here, I had 7 stacks, they were gonna just disappear anyways. May as well just take out First Order Stormtrooper. Of course, Red Trooper then went and almost killed Chupio. And it occurred to me, maybe it's not the worst thing in the world if they kill Chupio, honestly. Because Chupio is also he's doing like what, evasion down, something like that, as a debuff every time, and he's assisting every time. He's going to be healing Kylo every single time you hit him. So when Kylo killed Chupio, I was like, oh, okay, I think I'm okay with that, in fact. Okay, so killed Red Trooper because his stuff is really obnoxious. Now we don't want to be hitting their Kylo because he's going to put healing immunity on us, and with his retribution, and he's going to yeah, it's just a huge mess. He's going to just keep hitting us, doing damage. We don't want healing immunity. We don't want him to keep doing his AoE. You can see as we're hitting Kylo, we're not doing it like we're healing him a ton as well. So we got that protection off, but now stun Kylo because that's actually pretty good. And the goal here, we just need to kill Kylo. But doing big hits from Han is the only real way to do it. No one else hits hard enough except for Droideka, who did manage to finish him off. So thank goodness for that. And now we just need to focus on taking out this Kylo. Now if he gets a turn, he is going to hit us like crazy. He stacks his offense. So we got 55 there. I was happy enough. That was mostly because of poor planning on my end. So unfortunate, and it had taken so long to actually make that work. To even figure it out. I don't know. It was fun not to have to play with or against Galactic Legends, but it truly was very difficult to make decisions, just because it's almost a whole new game mode. So now we have to kill these Geos. I have Palpatine and Vader, and then I just took a few of my other Empire and stuff. No sense in messing around here. I've dropped a bunch of banners. We want to be efficient here. And here, I'll freeze frame real quick. So with Palpatine lead, Vader is crazy against Geos. He's crazy against him anyway, so what he does with Palpatine lead, you want to lead off with the Force Crush, because he immediately gets a second turn, and then you can do Merciless Massacre, and you can get a couple saber tosses within that whole ring of time that he's attacking Geos, so it's a pretty cool thing. And so, Merciless Massacre, and so the first thing you want to do, target Spy, because you dispelled his stealth. Take him out with the Culling Blade. Nice, feels good. Now we're just going to go around the world with debuffs here. Once again, so we need to kill Poggle here if we can. We got another Saber Toss if we want it. Got him, and now we can hit the Brute. He hits us back. What a jerk. But I don't know what you do here. We can dispel with Probe Droid without Brute countering, so that feels good. And then of course Palpatine messed everything up by actually not stunning the Brute. But now we can put the Death Mark onto Brute Alpha, and now that counts as a taunt. Tarkin, I was trying to figure out, I don't use Tarkin too often actually. You want to do his debuff here, because he immediately takes another turn, and then he can reduce turn meter with his AoE. Of course, that invited some hits back from them, so we're still not getting great banners. Probably would have worked if I'd just taken Palpatine and Vader or something, but this team was pretty good, and if this didn't work, I think I would just get stuck without taking out the Geos at all. So, I didn't have any other teams that could do this. So, do this. We can put Force Crush on the Brute. He's not going to counter. Now we can do the Saber Toss. Did it in slow-mo. 245k is kind of underwhelming if we're being totally honest, but we got 36 there. That would have been a 56. Still pretty bad banners against Geos with a total huge mismatch. Like the Vader team just demolishes that. I probably could have gotten much closer to 50 or to 60, which I guess would have translated to closer to 40. Okay, so he's got rebels in the back, and now I'm forgetting. I think it's like a Thrawn fleet, and so we need to be careful. I have my negotiator on defense, and that's wonderful. You know, that ship has saved me a lot of times in fleets, but we have to be careful. We have to use like kind of our off-meta teams. I'm not super good with Finalizer. I'm getting more comfortable with him as time goes on. But this Rebel fleet was pretty good. Biston is only 148 speed though, so he's not going to be able to go he's not going to break through as easily. So you need to just keep calling Silencer to do its thing against Millennium Falcon. Once we nuke the Falcon, then we're good. Silencer almost kills their 7-star Y-Wing, which is cool, and then they go in and just kill Kylo's shuttle, because why not? Because the Y-Wing is such an overpowered, awesome ship. It's not overpowered. It is really cool, though, to see it at work. If it hadn't applied that protection stealing debuff, we probably things would have been a little better here. But I was trying to figure out, like, what exactly do we do here? They still have a lot of offense available, and our shuttle is just gone. So I took in Houndstooth because they don't have as much assist ability. They had just used their shield negation technology from the Y-Wing, so may as well just take in Y-Wing, or take in Houndstooth. Without the Falcon, I mean, this Rebel fleet really does lose a lot of its teeth. Finalizer, calling Silencer to kill things. It's just so cool. The whole fleet really revolves around the Silencer killing all the things. It's really very fun. So as you can see, we're calling assists, we're doing all this stuff. I decided to just use a basic for, I don't know why I decided that. I could have done my big hit, but 60 banners here, happy enough with that. And then taking Malevolence in against the Thrawn fleet. The bomber is, of course, pretty thick. We want to be able to take that out as quick as we can. But there's no Gar Saxon ship. That's going to be the fleet of the future, I think, is the bomber, TIE Advanced, and Gar Saxon's ship. Or maybe TIE Advanced will come in later. I don't know. But Gar Saxon's ship, the Gauntlet, is going to be really good. With all these stacks of Buzz Droid here, it really, that ship goes down pretty easy. And yeah, we really, I mean, it's a really interesting thing. I think Malevolence actually does struggle a little bit against this fleet if you're not careful, but really, I mean, if Gar Saxon was here healing everyone, it would probably be a different matter. But as it stands, I'm able to get the kill on that squad. Yeah, I got the win here. 64 banners, so I did okay in fleets at least. Put a little pressure on my opponent, and not great banners though, guys. 2088. Failed that against... I'd be feeling a lot better if I hadn't failed against the Geos. So, let's pause it real quick. Apparently, apparently my editing skills, I never took any screenshots, so my opponent did attack. I'll set it up here for you. My opponent did full clear me on the ground very, very efficiently. They needed to drop like 30 banners going into ships. Like, I was pretty sure I was just toast. They had both their Malevolence and their Negotiator, and they could take out my Tarkin and my Negotiator pretty easy, I thought. I figured. So, not a great situation to be in. However, my opponent did... I took so few screenshots. You guys are just it's kind of jarring even to me to see this. So, you can see that my Tarkin fleet died eventually, but my opponent used one of their fleets to try to kill Negotiator, and they preloaded turn meter without killing any of my ships. And then they sent in another fleet and also didn't kill any of my ships. Eventually they did kill Anakin and Snips, but it was a little too late. Looks like Plo is also dead. No reinforcements came in. Or no reinforcements are showing, but he's the other one. And he ran out of fleets. He ran out of ships, and so I won. I don't know if there's another slide here. So I'll push play, and if there is, then awesome. If not, then maybe it'll just start wrapping around and we can just do the whole recap again. Now we'll get to a different screen if that's the case. So anyways, folks, once again, fleet saved me. My opponent outplayed me. I'll just admit that right now. They played a much better game than me on the ground. Fleets, you know, to give myself credit once again, like last time, and here, let's just pause it here. It just wrapped around. So, to give myself a little credit though, I have practiced a lot of my off-meta fleet counters, and so I feel comfortable putting Negotiator in the back. That's just how it works. Happy that I was able to do that, and you know, give yourself every opportunity to win. So, I mean, that's one great thing about going heavy offense or heavy defense, guys, is you give yourself 3 different win potentials. Number one, or win conditions rather. Number one, you play more efficient than your opponent. If you do that, you get more banners. You both one-shot each other. If you do that, then you can win. It's harder to do that if all your good squads are on defense. But the second one is, even if you play poorly and you get bad banners, then maybe they won't full clear you. And the third win condition is, I mean, it's similar. They might get stuck on ships if you put strong enough fleets. So, I mean, those are the win conditions, and all I had to do was do one of them, and I failed catastrophically on the first 2, but I did manage on the third. So, huge shout out to my opponent who stayed honorable, stayed good. You know, we both had 3 Galactic Legends available at the end. People who look at our Grand Arena history are going to be scratching their heads because where do we use the Galactic Legends? Who knows? But anyways, this was a lot of fun. Huge props once again to my opponent who hung out the entire stream, and it was kind of funny one time actually. They were like, "Oh, I kind of forgot that I was facing you." Like, I was actually just cheering for you a few times. I was like, okay, thanks. Thanks. It was a lot of fun. So, alright guys, I'm going to let you go. Thank you all so much for watching. And remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.